First of all, I'd like to thank the City of Fargo Shields Arena and the people of Fargo for having us here at the Regional. I know 2 years ago when we came here, it was an unbelievable experience that the two guys beside me here will never forget, and I'll never forget that either. And we're really looking forward to this weekend. So again, thanks for having us here.
Once again, if just like the first press conference, we'd like to begin by having our questions directed at the student athletes. And again, to keep things organized and moving, if you just raise your hand and I can acknowledge you and we'll get a mic runner or get a mic over to you. And at least for your first question, please identify yourself and the news organization that you're representing. So just please wait to ask your question until we get a mic so that way the student athletes can hear your questions clearly. Where would we like to start? Okay, perfect.
Matt Wellens of the Duluth News-Tribune. Gage, your teammate Trevor Olson not only scoring goals, but scoring some pretty big goals for you guys down the stretch here. Have you kind of seen him improve throughout his career, and where's this kind of clutch goal streak of his kind of come along for you guys late?
Yeah, well, obviously, it's nice to have him scoring goals this year, and as of lately, he's a skilled player, and he's always had that touch, and it's great to see him finally, finding the back of the net in games, and he's been a huge part of our team recently here, and he will be going forward.
Brady Corbett, Terrier Sports Radio Network, two-time captain of North Dakota, puts in some elite company. What about this year and bringing along three freshman defensemen that have all played key roles? What's that been like for you as a captain and obviously as a veteran defenseman?
Yeah, well, every year I've been at North Dakota, we've lost key players and brought in young guys to fill big shoes, and these guys this year have grown throughout the year, and they're playing great roles and big roles for us now. And obviously Colton Pullman playing with his brother Tucker, and they've been very solid for us. And obviously Andrew Pesky and Casey Johnson have also grown this year, and it's great to see those guys really developing into themselves and bringing a good game.
Andy Rickoff with AM 1100 The Flag. Gage, you guys have been here before. You guys have played in this arena before, as Coach mentioned. But how do you think that experience factor kind of plays into this game against Boston?
Yeah, well, obviously, being so close to Grand Forks and, our fans being able to travel here easily makes for a great atmosphere for us. And I'm sure we'll see a lot of green shirts in the crowd tomorrow, and it definitely helps us with the momentum swings that happen in these games, and it's just a fun atmosphere for us to play in, and I think it's a fun atmosphere for the other team to play in as well, and it just makes for a great hockey environment.
Alex Egan from Valley News Live in Fargo. Austin, it's been a while since you guys have seen Boston. Is there a team that you guys kind of compare them to that you've seen on your schedule this year, and what challenges do they present to you guys?
Yeah, definitely. Boston University is a very fast, skilled offensive team, and I think we like to compare them to Denver. We played Denver a few times this year, and they're really up and down the ice. They transition well, and they have a lot of offensive power and high-end guys on the top end. So it's got to match them very physically and check tightly through the neutral zone, and hopefully keep good gaps there and just play a strong game against them.
Do we have any additional questions for the student athletes? All right. Thanks very much, gentlemen. We'll conclude the questions. That will conclude the questions for our student athletes. We'll let those gentlemen excuse themselves, make their way to the locker room. And now at this time, we'll open up questions for head coach Brad Berry. Who would like to start? Down here.
Brad, how have you continued to see Trevor it seems like every year he's growing and evolving his game and taking bigger and bigger roles on this hockey team?
Yeah, you know what, he's he played in the USHL. He played on the line with Jake Gensel in the USHL, and he put the puck in the net on that line. So he has that in his game, and that offensive ability. He's grown his game tremendously here, obviously from his freshman year to his junior year right now, and he's earned every bit of it. And not only on the ice, he's improved and done a great job, but off the ice, the guys love him in the locker room. He's a leader on our team. He says the right things. And again, you need those guys at this time of year to step up, and that's what drives the bus. That's the guys in the locker room at this time of year, and he's one of those guys that's driving the bus.
Coach, how do you think this team compares to teams like last year's team at this situation where they are right now? You guys had to fight a little bit this year to get to this point.
Yeah, they're two totally different teams, two totally different ways we got here. Last year we were senior laden. We had a lot of experience. We were solidified early in the national tournament. This year it's a lot different. We're younger. We're fighting for our lives the last month and a half. We were in playoff mode for the last month and a half, and we found a way to get in the tournament. So again, it's two different years, and we feel we've been playing the right way here for the last month and a half, and playing very, very consistent. And part of that is the contributions that everybody's making. It's not just one line doing it. It's all four and all six defensemen and Cam Johnson, the goaltender. So it's the right time of year where everybody's coming together as a group, and again, this year's been a little bit inconsistent in the fact that we've been playing pretty hard, but the results really haven't been coming on a consistent basis. But we feel very comfortable and confident this weekend.
Coach, what do you like about what Boston University brings to the table, and what have you seen out of their pre-scout?
Well, we've watched a number of games. They're very skilled. Like Austin said, they're a fast team. They transition pucks. They have a lot of dynamic players up front and also on the back end too. And again, it's one of those situations where you have to identify who's on the ice at what times, and you got to make sure that you don't give that team a lot of time and space all over the ice, because they can make plays. And it's no different than the teams we see in our NCHC. You see Denver and Duluth, and the list, Western Michigan, a high offensive power team. That's the beauty of the NCHC, is that we've been in it for the last 6 months of battling against top teams, and Boston University is a top team. So again, like I said, it should be a great matchup tomorrow.
Brad, have any definite decisions been made on whether Tucker's in or out tomorrow?
Well, he skated today. He looked pretty good. So obviously, we're going to make an evaluation. Obviously, it's an afternoon game tomorrow, so it's a tight turnaround. We'll see where he's at tonight and tomorrow, and make a decision there. So again, like I said, he's a warrior. He battles hard, and again, we'll find out where he's at. And again, he's been getting better every day this week.
Coach, you mentioned the consistency earlier. What do you got to do to make sure you're on come tomorrow? What's one thing you got to do early on to get focused in that game?
I think dialed in the first 5 minutes of the game. Obviously, we've been here 2 years ago, and it's a great environment. It's a loud environment full of our fans here, and we don't want to disappoint. We'll be ready to go. And again, there's a balance, right? There's a balance between playing over the edge and not close to the edge. We want to be right on that edge and not go over, and yet not be too far away. So again, we'll be on the edge, and we'll bring our best foot forward tomorrow.
Any additional questions for Coach Brad Berry?
I'd like to point out one gentleman in the front row here that's wearing that nice green jacket, Mr. Verge Foss. It's great that you're here, and I want to thank you for all the years that you've supported North Dakota hockey and talked about North Dakota hockey, and from the bottom of my heart, you're one of my favorites, so thanks for being here.